And a good midday to you on this Tuesday midday. Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights, VELCO Weather Hazards Forecaster. This weather video driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin City Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Big picture at large, your big takeaway here is this trough of lower pressure. It's from an upper level low that's up here in parts of Quebec east of James Bay, and it extends, of course, southwestward into the Gulf coastal region, and it's promoting a lot of shower and thunderstorm activity across the Gulf Coast, the southeast United States. Some of that's trying to make a run and scoot up the coast, but we're mainly just going to see some high clouds out of that. There is a weather system that will roll up the coast and produce a little bit of rain showers really along the coastal parts of New England and not affect Vermont. The other thing we're looking at is a lot of smoke, and you can see the smoke symbol here. And these smoke symbols show you where the smoke is at its thickest, reducing visibility under 7 miles. And there's quite a bit of concentration. Some of that's making a little bit of a run. It's kind of a narrow strip that's just out ahead of this cold front that's kind of circulating around this upper level low. You can see this frontal system with the cloud cover. But a little bit of smoke is going to get involved, and that's going to get right down to the Canadian border on Wednesday afternoon. So a little bit of northern Vermont is going to be affected by that. But overall, we are looking at very dry conditions. In fact, dry weather as it looks right now, basically right through coming into probably Saturday morning. And with Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, seeing a few isolated showers and thunderstorms in northern areas, and then a little bit more robust business along about Sunday. That's a long ways out. Quick look at temperatures here. We've had the hottest weather out west. It's kind of pushed down now into the Gulf coastal areas. Not quite as bad as it has been. And dew point temperatures look like this. We're getting really fine, dry weather being pushed into the region. A little bit of pulling of those higher dew point temperatures right along that frontal boundary. That's not going to be a big deal for us. Looking at the European model incrementals, what we can see here is that southeastern U.S. precipitation, Gulf coastal regions, and we'll watch this area of low pressure here. And then just immediately to our north, this is our frontal boundary we're just looking at with that area of low pressure located east of James Bay, Canada. So as I run the computer model, you can kind of see this is valid about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And that frontal system defines, it'll trigger off some shower and thunderstorm activity generally a little bit north of the St. Lawrence River Valley, back into about Quebec City and a little bit north of Montreal. And that frontal system will try to make a little bit of a run just getting near the border areas during the afternoon on Wednesday. And you can see that right here. It looks like we're going to kind of scoot in between these two weather systems. This is going to be pushing off the coast from a separate stream in the jet. And that's going to be working up the coast and then off the coast and then exiting into the Gulf of Maine. While Vermont remains dry, we'll see some high cloud cover. That high cloud probably at its thickest, reducing solar irradiation generation, electric generation. It looks like a little bit on Wednesday. But overall, we're looking pretty good here. Now, if anything, this high pressure then builds back a little bit as those two streams are going to be on either side of us, either southeast or to the north and west. And this lasts basically into the day on Saturday before this frontal boundary will start to make a sag southward, and we finally do get into some shower and thunderstorm activity as we get into Sunday. As this area of higher pressure pulls off the coast, it then opens the door a little bit more for the Bermuda high and its higher dew point temperatures to advect northerly and then produce a frontal boundary that will then trigger those showers and thunderstorms. This is valid on Sunday, the last day of the period. Just beyond that, it looks like we'll see probably a daily dose of showers and thunderstorms that'll erupt just about each afternoon beyond this period. But overall, a drier than normal scenario with slightly below normal precipitation and if not below normal precipitation, with the most of that being really probably across the northern areas as it looks now. The GFS ensemble is in pretty good agreement with the European model as well as the Canadian model. You can see maybe a little bit of an uptick here. This is being centered on Montpelier, but it is registering the idea that there could be a couple of sprinkles. I would ignore this, though. I don't think it's going to be as far south as Montpelier, but up more toward the Canadian border. But eventually, we get into a little bit more of that convection. And looking at the total QPF, it looks like this, where we're looking at probably under 0.6 of an inch. 0.5 of an inch, even over the next 7 days. I think this is fairly well illustrated here. You can see this is 1/4 of an inch. This is just 1/100th. So we're looking at minuscule amounts of 7-day total precipitation with the Weather Prediction Center's ideas. Quick look at the climate reanalyzer. What you can see here is cooler than normal temperatures east of the Mississippi, in fact east of the Rockies into eastern Canada. All the warmth is on the west coast, Alaska, and out in the west. This is going to be scooting our way eventually. GFS ensemble temperatures look like this, and we'll take a look at the dew point temperatures. They also make a steady climb, as does precipitable water. And then the other thing we want to look at here is convective available potential energy. You can see that that also increases as we add the warmth and humidity. But overall, back to the temperature, we're starting out on the cooler side, so we're pretty neutral here, a little bit below normal. Southern and eastern parts of the U.S., we're starting to build a little bit more warmth. And then about, this is the next 5 days of high temperatures from the Meteorological Output Statistics, or MOS. And about 3 days later, it looks like this. We're running about, generally about 3 to 6 degrees above the norm. Looking real good in the tropics right now. We continue to see very little activity, if any, and just a 10% chance of one of the easterly waves coming off of West Africa. And that gives us about a 10% chance of a tropical cyclone formation over the next 5 days. I think as we get toward the late part of the week, really this coming weekend, we're probably going to see some spin-ups of a couple different tropical waves. Okay, these are the antecedent conditions of the various counties from multiple stations in each county, alphabetically: Addison County, Bennington, Caledonia, and Chittenden. What I want to call attention to is we're going to start here with Addison County. And what you've seen is the precipitation month to date. This is only the last couple of days of August. But over the last 30 days, we've made some major inroads with above normal precipitation. That's been also registered, at least in Addison County. For the last 60 days, this is 2 months, of course, 3 months. This is over the last 6 months. This is year to date. And this is over the last 365 days and so forth. So keeping that in mind, you might notice that the parts of Addison County and then down in Bennington County, they're above normal. You've seen above normal precipitation. Here's a good example of Caledonia County. It's seen spectacularly above normal for Caledonia County in terms of most recent precipitation. And over the last, this would be 60 days, 2 months, 3 months, and so forth. And not every county looks like this, but we have made some inroads. You can kind of see where. Not so much in Essex County. Franklin County is kind of missed out. Grand Isle has caught a little bit of that. Lamoille County a little bit as well. We've made some good reaches into more precipitation with saturated grounds in Orange County. Orleans, not so much in the northern areas. Rutland County is that way with saturated ground. Washington County also seeing some pretty saturated ground most recently, as well as Windham County and Windsor County. Southern, eastern parts of Vermont have been doing very well. Still a little bit sketchy across the northern regions. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.